Hey everybody, it's Greg Purdy, and I want to do a quick video. I hope I can make this quick, but I hope I can cover a large topic, which is what's going on with the hazmat detector in HAZability and in AZInsight. And I just want to assure you that it's not an error on our part. We're only returning to you what Amazon is showing us, and I want to just go ahead and explain to you what's happening, show you the icons that coincide with some of the information that we're seeing, and then maybe at the end show you a workaround that could help you if in fact you're trying to list a product. One thing to be aware of is it's an issue with Amazon, and they are showing us error messages when in fact there may not be an error at all. You may be allowed to sell the product, but we're getting an error message when we're trying to check that for you. So let me show you what I mean by that. I'll just start with the basics. Here's a listing, and this is the LOL surprise, and it's saying that the X says that I cannot list that product. The message that Amazon is giving us is that they're not accepting applications to sell the product, but the hazmat message is it's not a dangerous good. It's not a hazmat item. So it's the green flame. We've changed the shapes of the flames mainly because there are some red-green colorblind people, and showing them the same shaped flame in a red or a green color is hard for them to distinguish. So we're giving them two different shaped flames. We did the same thing here in the beginning. We used to have a red check mark and a green check mark. Now we show a red X and a green check mark, and that way you know based on the shape whether it's hazmat, not hazmat, or whether you can or can't sell. We're not just relying solely on the color. But so when we show you something, there's a message that coincides with it. Red X, what's the message? The message is Amazon's not accepting applications to sell. Where do we get that message? Well, if you click this button, it'll pop up and tell you that they're not accepting applications to sell. All right, so that's simple enough. That's the first one. All right, the second one, here's an item that says green check mark, I can sell, but there's a new red flame, and it's saying that it's classified as dangerous goods, but I can still sell it through FBA. I am FBA hazmat approved, so I can sell this through FBA. Now here's the interesting thing. I used an account today that's not FBA hazmat approved, and I looked up some items that were in fact hazmat, and we were showing it correctly as hazmat, but it said that I could sell those products through FBA with this other account, even though this other account is not FBA hazmat approved. So I want to caution you real quick, if you see this message right here that I'm showing you that says it's dangerous goods, which is their term for hazmat, but you can still sell it through FBA, just keep in mind that Amazon is making some changes right now. They're making changes in their messaging. They're making changes in their hazmat program. It may actually be that, yes, they're opening hazmat up to everybody. I don't know. I know they've opened it up to more people in the recent past. Maybe they're going to go, Amazon-wide and open it for everybody. I don't know the answer to that. So I would just be cautious and not say, hey, it says I can send it in, I'm sending it in, because if it gets in there and then you find out that this was an error message, that in fact you weren't supposed to send it in, then Amazon may in fact keep the product, because they may say, you know what, you sent it into a non-FBA hazmat warehouse and we're not set up to ship it back to you, so we're going to dispose of it. And then it winds up on a pallet and it gets sold to a liquidator and someone else makes the profit. So just be cautious. I don't know what the answer is. I just know that I've never applied for a hazmat permission with this other account, and it was saying that I could send it into FBA, and I know it was a hazmat product. So just, I don't know, I hope that doesn't confuse you, but these are the messages that we're seeing from Amazon. This is looking at my personal account. It says, yes, you can sell the product, and yes, it's hazmat, and you can ship in the product. So these are messages that Amazon is providing to us. And these are the common icons that we show and have shown from the beginning. The approval icon and the hazmat icon. The one in the middle is just saying sell yours. If you click it, it takes you to the page where you can actually add it to your inventory if you want to FBM, or if you want to convert it to FBA or whatever. You know, you could use that to go into your seller account and list the product if that's what you chose to do. I don't list that way. I use Inventory Lab, so I would never personally be clicking that button, but maybe that's how you list. All right, so let's look at another one. All right, here's a Duraflame Lighter, and it's got the butane lighter in it, and this is telling me that I can sell it. I have permission, but there's a new icon that you haven't seen, and it's saying that it's dangerous goods, but it cannot be transported to their fulfillment centers. They don't allow this product to be shipped in. So even though I have hazmat approval, I can't ship this in because Amazon doesn't allow it to be shipped in. So you may see that icon, and right now we're using a flame with an X. Now it's not truly an X, it looks like a little campfire, but we're calling it a flame with an X, and we're saying that that represents that per Amazon policy, and this is the message that Amazon is showing us. We're not making this up. They're showing us that per their policy, it cannot be sold or transported to the fulfillment centers. Okay, so far so good. Everything's working the way it's supposed to. Let's look at the next one. All right, these are Duraflame matches, and it's the same thing. It's telling me I can sell it, but I can't send it in. When I go to the next Duraflame matches, telling me I can sell it, but there's a question mark. And it's saying, this is Amazon's message, we are unable to classify this AZIn as it is not enrolled in FBA. So what's the difference? Here's Duraflame matches. It says they are hazmat. And here's Duraflame matches, and it says they don't know. What's the difference? The difference is at some point in time, someone wanted to send these matches into FBA, and so they filled out the form on Amazon. They filled out the hazmat form or did whatever they needed to do, and Amazon said, no, we don't want that in our warehouse. And so they have reviewed the product and made a determination. And on these matches, it's a different AZIn, but they've never reviewed the product. So no one has ever tried to send it in, so no one's ever filled out the SDS form or whatever that they've asked for. No one's ever tried to sell it FBA, and so Amazon has not reviewed the product. I call this hazmat review. Now, hazmat review in reality means that Amazon is reviewing it, but this is a product that needs to go through the review process. I already know what the answer is. This product will not be allowed to be sold through FBA. I'm not going to waste my time running it through the review process because I already know the answer based on every other match that's ever been run through the review process. They've said we don't want it in our warehouse. The same with the butane lighter. If I actually tried to sell butane lighters before, and they turned me down. So I know for a fact that if I look at butane lighters and it has this icon here that Amazon doesn't know, I'm not wasting my time because I already know the answer to that, right? So let's look at another. All right, here's a product that apparently has batteries in it because it's a charging tool. Charges your MacBook Pro or whatever. So it's got a different icon. It's got a microscope, and it says this product is under review. All right, so let's take a look at it. I'm going to go ahead and copy, and I'll go over here to look up the AZIn. So you go to the search box in the top of your Amazon Seller Central, type in hazmat. It'll pull this up. You want to check to see if the product is dangerous goods. So you look up the AZIn, click next, paste the AZIn in, and check the status. So it says that an error occurred. So this is what I wanted to show you, is that we don't have an error with AZInsight. This is Amazon's tool, and it says an error occurred. Right now, Amazon is going through the inventory in their warehouse, trying to make a determination if the things are hazmat or not, because a lot of stuff's been shipped in over the years without having proper hazmat identification, which is called an SDS, a safety data sheet. It used to be called an MSDS. If you've been around in transportation and logistics for any period of time, you've probably heard of MSDS, material safety data sheet. Now they just call it an SDS. And Amazon is now going through the inventory in their warehouses, their fulfillment centers, trying to make a determination if all the products have their proper paperwork. Does it need a safety data sheet? And if so, do they have it on file? And if not, they can't classify the product because they don't have what they need. So this product that I just showed you, it's actually a private label product. The person is already selling it through Amazon, right, through FBA. But when you look it up, you can't get the information about it because they've never submitted it. So what's going to happen more than likely is when they go to try to ship it in next time, Amazon's going to say, wait, we need the SDS. Okay, so it's under review. That's one of the scenarios. Products already in Amazon. Amazon has it in stock. You go to try to relist, and Amazon stops and says, wait a minute, we need some information. Okay, let me show you another one. All right, this is a cake topper. It's got some glowing candles, and you can see it's already in FBA. There's a couple of sellers, but we're saying that the product is under review. So again, I'll copy, I'll go here, I'll look up another ASIN, paste the ASIN in, check the status, and again an error occurred. This is Amazon's error, not AZInsight's error, or not HAZability's error. This is Amazon's error. They're saying, we don't know. That's basically what they're saying. We don't know. So if you were to try to send this in, they would ask you for more information. All right. Now, let's talk about Inventory Lab, which I don't have a screen of that pulled up right now. But if you use Inventory Lab and you know that AZInsight loads up on Inventory Lab. So if you use HAZability Pro or AZInsight, you know that it loads up on Inventory Lab, and as soon as you scan the item in, it'll tell you if it's hazmat or not and if you can sell it or not, and it saves you having to go through the whole process to find out, whoops, I can't send it in, or whoops, I can't sell it, or whatever. It's telling you right away. So you may see these error messages in Inventory Lab. Let's just assume, for sake of argument, that this product is not hazmat. I don't know if it is or not, but let's just assume that it's not a hazmat product, and you know it's not a hazmat product. And you get into Inventory Lab, and it doesn't tell you that you can't send it in. It just tells you that, there's a question mark there. We don't know. So you go all the way through the process. It's going to let you send it in, more than likely. So I've had numerous people have emailed me and messaged me and say, what about my situation? What about my ASIN? What about my scenario or whatever? I can't answer everybody individually. That's why I'm making the video, just to say that if you know for a fact that it's not hazardous and you want to sell the product, it would behoove you to go ahead and give them the information that they're asking for. And I want to show you real quickly how to do that. I'm not going to do it with this product because I honestly don't know if it's hazmat or not. So I pulled another one. All right, this is a garlic press. Now, it's one seller, so I assume that this is the person that's making the garlic press, and the person has never sold it FBA. And you can tell that by scrolling down here to the Keep It chart, and you see it's third-party FBM, but there's nothing about third-party FBA here. The buy box, when I hover buy box, you get that one blue line over by May 8th, and it's never changed. So it's been the same sellers had the buy box the whole time, and it's never been an FBA seller because there's never been FBA. All right, so this person, and there's been one seller you can see right here all the way across, except this one little blip. There was two sellers. I don't know, probably somebody tried to list it and the person kicked them off or whatever, but they've never gone through the process of listing this FBA. Okay, so I want to do that right now. I'm going to list this FBA. It's only going to help them out. I'm not going to sell the product. But if you were to run across a product, let's say you found this product in the store, then it's on clearance and you can get it real cheap, and you've looked it up on AZInsight and you've determined that it's profitable, but you get to here and it says, here's your message, we're unable to classify it because it's not enrolled in FBA, and you've determined that there's absolutely no chance that this product is hazardous, so you're going to go through the process. And let me just stop for a second and say, don't go through this process and say that something's not hazardous that is hazardous, because I promise you, you'll lose your account, because Amazon will look and say, wait a minute, you've tried to deceive us and say that something's not hazardous when in fact it is, because another seller sent the STS form in saying it's hazardous, but you told us it wasn't, and therefore you've just lost your account. So don't be stupid about this. If you know for a fact that it's not hazardous, then it's very simple. You add it, you go to the Add a Product page, and you add it, and you click Search, and you pull the product up. And it said listing limitations apply, and I clicked that, and it tells me that I can sell it. So it's not restricted to me. This person's never restricted this product, so I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to sell it. So I'm going to click Sell Yours. And it brings me over to the page where I can list the product. Okay, so I'll say I want to sell it for $100, and I want to sell it new. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to have Amazon ship and provide customer service. I want to sell this FBA. Remember, that's what we're doing right now, is we are switching this from FBM to FBA, and I'll click Save. The next thing that happens is they want me to go ahead and tell them how I'm going to ship it. So I'm going to use the Amazon barcode, and I'm saving. And again, I'm not going to be listing this. I'm showing you how to do it. I will not complete this. The next screen that pops up is telling me to convert it to Fulfilled by Amazon, and right here they're asking me to add the dangerous goods information. Okay, so I click on that, and it pops up a screen, and it asks me, does it have batteries or utilize batteries? Well, if it does, then you say yes, and you start answering the questions. All right, I'm going to delete this, but I'm going to say that it requires batteries, which are contained in the product. All right, let's just say that's what this product is, and then it asks for the composition, and I select the composition lithium ion, let's say. And it wants to know the size. Well, lithium ion I think only comes in AA or AAA, whichever it is. So you select the size and you tell it how many batteries it has, and then it wants to know the battery weight. Okay, this is where it starts to get a little confusing, but I made it simple. If you just go over to selleressentials.com, all right, selleressentials.com, let this load up for a second. Select Amazon, and then scroll down Hazmat Review Battery Information, and click on that. Scroll down your page here, and there are battery weights for all the different kinds of batteries listed here. So if in fact it was lithium ion, which are AA, and you have 4, so here's the weight of 1, 2, 3, 4. There's your weight. Okay, 96, and that's in grams, by the way, weight in grams. Or if you have alkaline batteries and you're using C batteries and you have 3 C batteries, it's 195 grams. We've put a chart together to make filling that form out a little easier. And there's also SDS sheets if there are batteries in your product. If the manufacturer is listed here, you can actually get the SDS information for the batteries by clicking here, going to the manufacturer's website, and getting the SDS sheet for it. And then at the bottom, if you have lithium polymer batteries, there's a blog here. We don't own this blog, but it's just a great resource that can get you the battery size chart and weights and whatnot for the LiPo batteries, the lithium polymer batteries. And then at the top of the page, you can get SDS sheets for almost every product on Walmart. So if you're buying your product from Walmart, you can click here, enter the information, and get the SDS sheet for that product there. And then here's free SDS search. There's 7 million plus SDS sheets right here. You get to view up to 5 of them for free with a free plan, or you can subscribe and have unlimited search of 7 million different SDS sheets out there. So I hope that helps. So that's on selleressentials.com. And then just hover over Amazon, click on the battery information chart, or you can go to selleressentials.com/Amazon/Amazon-hazmat-review, and that'll get you all that information there. But let's go back. Okay, I just wanted to show you that on the battery information. I'm going to now say no, so I don't have to finish filling that out. So battery information based on this garlic press. Does it have batteries? No. Is the product considered a dangerous good? Well, if you say yes, then it's going to ask you what type of dangerous good, and you're going to answer that, and then you're going to go to the next and the next and the next, and then eventually they're going to ask you for the SDS. Well, I'm going to say, and it's actually the same if you click not sure. They're going to basically walk you through it until they can figure out if in fact it is. But if it in fact is not hazardous, which this garlic press is not hazardous, then you're going to say no, it's not hazardous, and no, it doesn't have batteries, and you're going to submit. And at that point, it shows that I've completed the information. I click Save, and it takes me to the next part of shipping it in. All right, now I'm going to stop there because I honestly have no plan on buying or selling this product, and I'll go into my inventory later and delete the product and listing from my inventory. But I just wanted to show you that if you have a product that all of a sudden they're asking for information on, you've been selling it for years, or you're looking at it in your hand right now and you know it's not hazardous, but Amazon's never had it in their warehouse, they're going to tell you to provide that information. And it's simple as saying no batteries and no SDS sheet. And I'm going to have to delete out some information here. But it's as simple as filling out that little bit of information, and you're done. So, to recap, if you have a product that you've never sold before, but you know for a fact that it's not hazardous, or if it's something that you've sold in the past and you know it's not hazardous, but Amazon all of a sudden puts a block on it, it's as simple as going in, adding it to your inventory, converting it to FBA, and then getting to the point where it asks for the hazardous information. You tell Amazon that there's no batteries and it's not hazmat, and you continue, and they allow you to continue to add it to your inventory and ship it in. It's as simple as that. Now, if it's never been in the Amazon warehouse, they may ask you for the size and the dimensions and the weight and all that. That's a different subject. All right, I just wanted to show you the hazardous information and what's going on with the tool. So whoever's product this is, you're welcome. You can now send it into FBA. You're just going to have to add the size and the weight, and Amazon will allow you to ship it FBA if you so choose to. If not, continue on. Nothing I've done here is going to affect you in any way other than maybe to help you. And I hope that helps those that are watching the video. If you have more questions, I mean, I get a lot of people that are messaging me, so please watch the video again if there's something you didn't understand. If you still don't know, that's fine. Open a ticket at support.AZInsight.com. Open a ticket with them. You're going to get much better answers from them than you will from me. But the fact of the matter is, giving one ASIN and asking us to figure it out for you, I'm sorry, we don't have time to do everybody's individual ASINs. So I think I've covered about most of them. So let's just to recap, you either can sell it, or let's do it this way. To recap, it either is hazmat, it's not hazmat, or Amazon at this point doesn't know for whatever reason. They either don't know because it's brand new, they've never seen it, they don't know because it's in their warehouse and nobody's ever given them the information on it before, or they're in the process of reviewing it. I call all those scenarios hazmat review. Some of them, they've started the review and it's going to take a few days. So for example, on the one, if it did in fact have batteries and I gave it the information, it would take up to 4 days for them to process the information, and then they would say, okay, yes, it is hazmat, or no, it's not hazmat. So they're going to review it once you give them the information. If nobody's ever given them the information, I still call it hazmat review because it's the review process that's holding up Amazon giving us the answer of whether it is or is not hazmat. So either you do what I just did and give them the information so they can get through the review process. And if it's not hazmat, you'll, as you saw in the video, they will give you immediate response that, okay, thank you, continue on. But if it is hazmat, or it might be hazmat, it'll take them up to 4 days to review once you've provided the information. So I call all those scenarios hazmat review. Is that technically correct? Maybe not, but you understand what I'm saying now. And if we show you an icon that says hazmat review, that's what we mean. You know, now, yes, we could say, well, it's in stage 1 or stage 2 or stage 3. We don't really know. And even if we can find out that information, you know what, just either go through the process or don't go through the process. If you don't go through the process, you can't send it in to FBA. If you go through the process, you'll find out what Amazon's looking for, and it's not going to hurt if you have to give them an SDS sheet and someone else gave them one yesterday. There's really no difference. Okay, so, and it would save us having to look at each individual ASIN and try to figure out what's going on, or have us make 6 or 8 different icons to represent every single stage in the process. Just accept the fact that it either is hazmat, it's not hazmat, or Amazon can't tell us right now. And if they can't tell us, you can either do the work or not do the work based on whether you really want to sell that product or not. I hope that's not too harsh, but that would save our people from spending 24 hours a day answering the same question again and again and again, which is why I made the video. But again, if I miss something, hit us up and I'll try to cover it. But I think I covered most of the scenarios with this short video. Appreciate your business. Feel free to share the video into your group or on your page or whatever. We'll make it public, and reach out to us if you have any questions. We love you. Appreciate the business that you've given us. We hope we've done a good job providing service to you and making the best tool on the market for Amazon sellers. So, I mean, we think it's great. And yes, there's some bumps in the road right now, but just understand, as Amazon is trying to get a handle on what is and what is not hazmat, and as they move forward, I think it'll straighten out. It'll be a little more easy to understand what's going on as they get through the inventory in their warehouse and figure out what is and isn't hazmat. So hope that helps. Have a great day.